This is GameFreak 982928 of Total Ponage Incorporated. And I just went full crazy cat lady. Don't go full crazy cat lady. So, I'm just up in my room doing, you know, nothing, chatting with Galena, now that my Wi-Fi is finally back, and, I hear my mom downstairs. She's like, "Oh, Megan, you have to come over here, downstairs. There's a kitten in the backyard, and she's not a stray. Well, she's in the backyard. She looks like somebody owns her. She's not wild." You know, just all concerned that this was a lost cat. Which, you know, I go downstairs and I see her there, and, you know, my mom called the police, her exact words, to come get her, because the police here apparently gets the cat and then brings her to a precinct in a cage for overnight, and then brings her to the SPCA the next day, right? So we did everything to keep this cat in our yard, and the police took forever to get there. Remember, police. And so she goes over to across the street, and I follow her because, you know, I'm scared to death that this cat is indeed a lost cat. And like, if it was me and I lost my cat, and I saw that on Facebook that somebody took a picture and saw her but didn't know where he was after that, I'd be really upset. So I just wanted to find the cat so I could post the pictures online and be like, your cat is definitely in this area. So, oh god. So I went and I gave her treats and stuff. I knocked on that person's door because she was in their yard for a while, and they didn't own her. So I picked her up and brought her back to our yard, and we couldn't keep her there. We just couldn't, and she ran off. She ran off into, there's this, behind the row of houses across the street from ours, there is a, path that goes through this line of woods that's behind their houses. And that leads into this little, it's basically a giant sand pit. It used to be a playground, but now it's just not. So I follow her there and I pick her up, and she was doing fine. She was purring, and then this car went down the road, and this cat did everything to get out of my arms. Like, I got scratches all over the place. And then she runs back down the dirt path. Meanwhile, I didn't have any shoes on because, you know, I was called down just... Anyway, I went back down this dirt road, and at this point my mom had informed me she called the police to not come. So I was following this cat, basically stalking this cat, and whenever somebody says the police to me, I always think of the RCMP. So that's immediately who I thought my mom called. My mom had actually just called the town police, which would probably explain why they took forever to friggin' get down there, because the town police are terrible. Anyway, so I call the RCMP. I call the military police over a fucking stray cat. So I called the RCMP, and he was like, "So where are you?" And I'm like, you know, it's heading to Henley. And I thought I had called the fucking Gander precinct, but it turns out that number was just a generic number, which makes no sense because it was a 256 number, so, which is clearly Gander. And he was like, "So where are you?" And I'm just like, "I'm in Gander. Cat's heading towards Henley." He's like, "I don't know what the local number for the SPCA is." And I'm just, you know, I was like, "Dude, you guys usually just grab the cat, keep them overnight, and then bring them to the SPCA the next day." when they open, because that's what was explained to me. Even though I'm a complete idiot, apparently. So he was like, okay, I'll have somebody call you. Meanwhile, this cat runs into this lady's backyard. I show up to her front door, no shoes on, scratched to death, being bitten by mosquitoes everywhere, hair frazzled as shit, sweating like a motherfucker, and I'm just like, lady, do you own a cat? I didn't say it like that. I was like, I'm sorry to bother you, but do you guys own a cat? She was like, yeah, we own a cat. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, do you own this cat? Look, it's like got a black stripe going down its back, and she was confused. She was like, no, that doesn't sound like our cat. And I was like, yeah, I got a picture of her. And I showed her the picture, and she's like, oh, that's Dipstick. This cat's name was Dipstick. And she was owned by somebody on another street that was kind of next to this street that I was on. Like, I literally followed, like, stalked this cat in my stalking feet quarter way across town. Well, it seems like quarter way across town. It was, like, literally just the next street down, but it was a fairly long walk, especially for somebody with no shoes on. And she's like, yeah, put that, her picture, she came over once and I put her picture on the SPCA, and turns out that she's owned by someone, her name is Dipstick, and she just goes around from house to house looking for treats. So I'm just standing there on a different street, cell phone in one hand, looking frazzled as shit, just hoping that this woman doesn't think that I'm some crazy cat lady just stalking this cat from one end of the city to another, just trying to, you know, steal it and stuff. Like, I did my best to explain. I was worried that she was a lost cat, and, you know, but I don't think she was buying it, and, you know, then my mom had to come get me, and then the RCMP called back. The sergeant, he's like, I'm on my way to your area, we're not actually that far from here. And I'm just like, no, it's okay, I got it settled, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot. And then my mom was like, who's that? I was like, yeah, that was the RCMP. And she was like, you called the RCMP? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, and on the one hand, I want to cry because I really meant well, and I didn't want to come off as this crazy cat lady trying to steal people's cats. But on the other hand, I want to laugh because, you know, I'm an idiot. From now on, like, my mom's just been calling me Dipstick all night. So, I'm sorry. If the owner of Dipstick is watching this video, I did not mean to steal your cat. I'm really sorry. I get worried about stray animals. Like, especially if they look like they were owned and cared for by somebody, because, like, then I think, oh, somebody must have lost this adorable cat, and if I post a picture of her, and she just never comes back to my area, and, like, the owner's like, oh my god, that's my cat, she's been missing for months, why didn't you do anything? Why didn't you grab her? You just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I went full cat lady, but Dipstick's fine, and this Dipstick is a little scratched up, but that's the Grand Dipstick Adventure, I will dub this, the quest for Dipstick, or the quest of the Dipstick, either will work. So, this is Dipstick 92928 of Total Ponage Incorporated, and just never go full cat lady. Never go full crazy cat lady.